right, here we go. Advantages of home ownership, y'all. Advantages of home ownership. So the first advantage for me was just the fact that I did it. The fact of saying this is yours, even though we know that unless you have cash to pay cash on the house, it's not technically yours, right? It belongs to the bank that you borrowed the money from. Same thing with your car. People purchase cars all the time. You don't own that car. The bank owns the car until you pay it off, right? And then if you don't pay property taxes for the car, they don't give you your tags, your decals. And so you can get pulled for driving with an expired tag. So with your house, all right, let's talk about it. There's, the equity, which is the biggest advantage in my personal opinion, is the equity. Being able to know that you are basically generating, y'all see how the light is shining right here on me? Being able to know that you're establishing equity. What is equity? Equity is basically your home going up in value. So like, you know how a car depreciates? Your house, real estate always appreciates. Land is always going to appreciate because land is not limitless, or it's not an unlimited amount of land. So land is limited. Land is limited. So when your house is on land, because that's the only way you can have a house, really, it's limited space. So you're going to automatically acquire equity, y'all. Another advantage to me of owning a house is just not having to deal with walking up the steps or having someone on top of you, having someone beside you, having someone just all over the place where you are. I mean, and it can be a little different being in a house because it's more private, more quiet. I will say that. In my opinion, it's been more quiet. As far as the maintenance, I know people are concerned about that. For me, I know that like changing the air filters, that's part of regular maintenance. That's doable. If you get a step stool, a 4 tiers, because let me see, usually you have 10-foot ceilings, right? All you have to do is get a 4-tier step stool ladder and change your air filters. What else is there? So there could be like a maintenance issue. Like I just had to have my garbage disposal replaced. Home warranty paid for that. Home warranty. So for the home warranty that I have right now, it's $50 a month. And then it was $100 service fee. But now if you go and try to buy a garbage disposal, which that can run you about $150. Like you can get one off Amazon. Now if you know what you're doing, you can do it yourself. If you don't know what you're doing, that's what the technician is for, right? And then you don't have to worry about the hassle of it. Also, home warranties cover appliances. Like today, I'll have them to come out and look at the dryer. And if there's a part that needs to be repaired, they're going to go ahead, hopefully, and take care of that. Or if we need to replace it, hopefully they'll get taken care of, y'all. Because you know how all companies, there's, a lot of work, some admin work and stuff with, what they'll do and what they won't do. But for the most part, your warranty is there to cover these things. Yard maintenance. Now that's something that you can take care of yourself if you know what you're doing. You might need help, if it's not something that you know about and you can pay for that, just call around for some landscaping companies if your HOA doesn't cover your land being taken care of, like your yard space. And usually that's around anywhere between, I want to say 60 to 100 a month. But like, I found a guy some years ago, he was charging me $35 every 2 weeks, I think is what I was paying him. So that was about $70 a month, which, yeah, he would do the front and the back, and then he would do the edging, I think, and stuff like that, and the yard looked really nice, and my grass was getting greener too, because he had been doing it for many years. So just finding a good landscaping person that's reliable and dependable, and then, they'll cover that. Homeowners insurance will take care of, like, usually if your house is in a disaster, like a peril, such as fire, hurricane, tornado, stuff like that, things that happen to the house. So that's what your homeowner's insurance is for. Usually that is covered in your house payment, right? So, now outside of that, some places don't require you to have flood insurance because you might not be in a flood zone. So if you're not in the flood zone, you might not be required to have flood insurance. But just understand that if your house or home gets flooded due to a flood, the homeowner's insurance might not cover it. That's the crazy part, right? So you just want to check and see. And usually when you get your house, the lender is going to check those maps to see if your house is in a flood zone, and they will let you know if you need to get flood insurance or not. So when we talk about the cost of like rent versus mortgage, in the long run, I think you're going to have a greater advantage of purchasing, and that is because you're building equity as you go. And a lot of people, they look at things in a short-term view, right? They don't look at the long-term view. They look at the short term. So in short term, you think you're saving money because you're just paying a set amount for your rent. But you're not really in the long term gaining more value for you're not getting the return on your investment like you would in real estate, because you're not gaining that equity, right? So if you're in your house for like, I want to say at least 3 years, you're definitely going to see equity. You're going to see a return on your investment at least 2 to 3 years. That's all it really takes, y'all. And sometimes it could be less than that, especially if you move into a new construction community. You're going to start to see a return on your investment. And a lot of people don't look at it this way. A lot of people might not understand that concept because nobody has ever explained it to them or broken it down to them. But if you really look into the community of who purchases homes, they have acquired more wealth than people. Usually they have acquired more wealth than people that don't purchase homes. And then also too, they say that, your mortgage will increase. Well, your rent also increases every year. Your mortgage might increase every so often because they have to do what's called an assessment on your property value. So that means that your taxes may go up, which can cause your mortgage payment to go up. Now, the reason that happens is because your home has acquired more value. So your house is worth more now. So if you moved into your house at $350,000 or $400,000, that's like the average price of a home across America is like around $400,000 to around $425,000. Your house in 3 years might now be worth $475,000 to $525,000. So now you've gained equity. So if you go to sell your house, you're going to get money back on the purchase of your house, right? So this is why your taxes have increased, because the value of your home has increased. So what can you do? You can actually pay down your escrow account. You can actually pay more money into the escrow account so you can keep your mortgage payments the same. And all you have to do is call your home. That BMW is flying, y'all. All you have to do is call your mortgage company and talk to them about putting money into your escrow account, because you can have a shortage in your escrow account. The escrow account pays your taxes for you, so you don't have to pay that separately. Okay. All right, I'm trying to see what exit. Okay, I'll take the next exit, y'all. But hopefully that kind of breaks it down on how home ownership can help and how it's an advantage. And it's, a little hard to explain if you're not seeing it visually, because I don't have my whiteboard in front of me. But hopefully you're following what I'm saying. Let me know if this video is helpful. If you would like more tips and information on home ownership, or if you're interested in home ownership or anything concerning real estate, All right, I am almost here. We're going to be there in 3 minutes. Class starts at 8:30. I'll be there by 8:24, y'all. So I'm going to sign out. Y'all have a happy Monday. I'll tune in with you later.